My mic is off. Okay. I'm not going to repeat everything I just said. I'm going to be working on my goals. Glad to have you guys here. No bad vibes. Got my Earl Grey. Okay, now that's out of the way. Actually, one thing I want to do is I'm going to head over here to the wiki. And we're looking at the, let me see, let me bring my mic up a little bit here. Test. There we go. So we're looking at the wiki, we're looking at the Hungry Earth spell. And what this is an undead root. You get 8 ticks of root, 48 seconds. You can only use it on undead. And I need words of material and words of spirit. So that's what I'm going to be looking for right now. Excuse me. And as we run around town, we may find some other words. But first I'm going to check my bank and just see if there are words in the bank. It looks like... Okay, I got a stack of water. I was going to say, it looks like I'm out of water. I don't want to run out of water. And I have so many words. We're looking for words of material and words of spirit. I see 1 words of spirit. I do not see any words of material. And so where can we find those? Sorry about that. This always happens when I start on my stream. Random drop from level 20 mobs. So we're going to do the Cabalist 500 here and just look. You can generally find words. One surprising place that I found words is the Tinkenbabble, which is this room right here. And a lot of people will vendor words in this area as they're trying to get their spells. So they're going to sell their words because they're trying to make some money. But I'm not seeing anything. Words of reviviscence. That's a tough word to say. Reviviscence. This is for the level 16 pet spell. Who's this guy? Grobzilla? That's a funny XR name. Alright, let's see. We checked those guys. We checked the Shaman Guildmaster area. I don't know. It's like this whole thing you gotta do. You gotta run around the whole town and look for words. Words of sight. I've never seen those ones. And I'm always looking for new words too, because sometimes they're spells for later on. Like level 34. I've got one of the words for the level 34 pet. But the words of sight are for a mage pet, so I don't need that. Or a mage summon spell. Either way, I don't need it. Alright, woolly spider crunchy's there, but no words. Nothing here. Skyless, FYI, I'm having an unhinged night in mental health. So if I am too extreme, just politely ask me to leave, okay? But otherwise, I'm here for support. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. You know, truthfully, I'm not having the best night either. Uh, I mean, I was having a really good night, and then my girlfriend and I kind of like started butting heads on something. So I feel you. It's like a monthly period. This guy has had these same words of the elements since I started playing. Like, I feel like my Necro was like level 10 when I first started doing this. I need to do something here. I do appreciate your support, Skyless, for sure. And hopefully everything's okay. Go to details here and let me set my EQ affinity. So one thing I did was tonight was I've finished or almost finished the script for my YouTube video. It went from like 1 page to like 3 pages. Yeah, definitely. Um, and it's now ready for recording. And then I've recorded about 2 hours worth of footage. So I'm super excited for that. It's gonna be like a full-blown YouTube production. And I'll know it did its job if it recruits Skyless Raven to play Everquest. Then we'll know that it was effective. Because that's the whole point. Oh, my game almost crashed. It's free. Words of Dominion. I feel like I've seen this one. I need like a quick reference. Yep, that's a mage pet word. I feel like these are all the same words. Nobody's really selling a whole lot of words up in here. Up in here. Stedgy? It's a funny name for a monk. Velishul's Tomes. Yeah, when I hear unhinged, I think like, dang, how many people is he gonna? Oh, I shouldn't say that on stream. How many people is he going to PK in Minecraft? Yeah, unhinged is like pretty. When I hear that, I'm like, ooh, oh no, I fell in the water. Ah, I better watch the game. One thing at a time here. Okay, so west. I don't know. I don't really feel like looking for words. Man, this Earl Grey hits good. Hits good tonight. Me either. Skyless, I don't follow the social slang either. So, last night after you left, I ended up with two very hardcore like followers of the EQ. Like these guys are like priests in the church of EQ, if you will. And these dudes like we lived up to the MMocracy name last night. It was like Yeah, we were going hard. You missed it. No, not throwing any shade or anything. Just saying, you would have enjoyed it. Hopefully, some of these guys pop back. All right. Words of duress. That is a mage pet. Words of efficacy. That's an AoE strength drain for that. I don't think I'm going to use an AoE strength drain. I don't know. That doesn't. Unless there's something I'm not tracking. Okay, this one here is for the level 34 pet. And it's only 2 plat. Oh no, I don't have any money. Shoot. I forgot the most important thing about word hunting is you gotta have money. Alright, let's see. Words of tyranny. That's so low level, there's no way I'm gonna need that. I need words of motion and words of spirit. Man. Oh no. It's alright, we can swim. We're Ixars. Up, up. Ladders in this game. Ladders are like the final boss of this game. Get up there. Oh, I didn't even need to get up here because I needed to go down here. Yeah, other than that, Sky, let's hope everything's going good. You're just exhausted. Social battery, man, I have that same thing sometimes. Like, I get, like, social burnout. And I just need to, like, do nothing. Although, I mean, honestly, like, so my girlfriend had this, like, day where she went out with her girlfriend. Um, and they kind of do stuff like when I was like what I would do when I was young, where it'd just be like you pick up the phone and you're like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" Sure, and you don't have any plans. You just like meet, and then you're like, "What do you want to do?" I don't know. You want to go find some food? Okay. And when she told me about that, I was like, "Dude, like I actually legitimately forgot about that. Like for because I've basically only had friends that you meet for a purpose for like a long time. I can't even remember. I was probably like 19 the last time I had a friend that would just like show up to my house and be like, "What's up, bro? You want to hang out?" Sure. Oh, baseball game's on. Oh, cool. I got some brats. You want to throw them on the grill? Like, I haven't had that since I was like a teenager. So it was kind of a funny like memory. I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." When I'm dating a younger woman, I mean, I don't feel like that's an age thing. Women can hang out with each other. They just have she just has like that kind of relationship with her friend where she's like they just kind of hang out. But I haven't had friends that are in that same like mental type space. Yeah, so there's the words of motion. I'm just want to is it motion or materials? Oh, it's materials. Okay. So I've got the words of motion, but I could always use another set. So that's what we're going to do. So I only need 2 plat for that. Oh, I missed your point. It's a younger okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Well, when he said that's what you get, I was like, I don't know. Like it seemed kind of like it was like a that's what you get. I was like, what did I get? I also think it kind of comes with so I'm military and I've been military for so long that like we make meaningful relationships, but they don't like they kind of don't last. They do, but they don't. Like I have tons of military friends that I still talk to, but none of them live in this state. Like none of them live anywhere near me. So like people that I probably would be able to just meet up and be like, "Hey, you want to go do something?" and like not actually have a plan and just go do whatever. I haven't lived in the same state as them for like 10 years. So that's kind of the unfortunate side effect of relocating yourself, your family, your entire life every 3 to 4 years. And plus, being a dad, having a family, like you kind of, at least for me, like being a dad, I kind of self isolated. Where I was like, nope, I got to focus on my family, my kids, my work, and that's it. And I kind of isolated myself too. So, and then now, like, I don't, most of the people that are in my peer group at work are like 10 years younger than me. So I'm not really making friends with them. But anyway, because we're just kind of in a different phase. So I watched a little bit of my stream last night and I decided I was going to turn my mic up a little bit. So I'm looking to you guys for feedback if the mic does sound too loud. Because it sounded like I was a little bit quiet and I needed to bring it up just a little bit. So I brought it up and it looks like it's pretty firmly in the yellow, which is where it needs to be. So, but if it is too loud, just let me know and I'll bring it down a little. Who had the words of motion? Not you. Is it you, Keeper Plate? Oh, it was Keeper Suffering. Okay, we'll buy that. Well, one step ahead of me being, the second I switched schools, I was dropped like a bag of potatoes and seen what were friends maybe twice in the last 8 years. Is there a place to get a better robe? Hail. Someone is asking me. It depends. If you have money, you can buy one. You can also try to craft one with the tailoring skill. I'm going to help this noob out here for a minute. Sorry, you can't see it in the chat. I mean, I guess I can show it to you. Oh, from a vendor? No. In EQ, there is very little armor from vendors. I should not say no, not likely. You're almost never gonna buy anything useful from a vendor in EQ. That's just kind of the facts of life. It's not like single player RPGs where you can go to the vendor and it's like, oh, if you get 10,000 gold, you can buy the Sword of Cessadrix that has, the poison proc on it or whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there. See, I'm just kind of talking to this guy. And the other thing I need to do real quick is I need to bring up my end parse. There we go. I recommend saving bone chips and spider silk to other players than trying to buy better gear with the plat. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell this. I'm orating this. Unfortunately, the common zone to trade in is on another continent. I'm kind of walking this guy through how to. You can check all of the prices. He's asking what the price. He has a bunch of bone chips. Should I plug my YouTube channel? Ah, he's leaving. I need to whisper him. There we go. I'll plug the stream. I'm gonna plug the stream a little bit. I'm not gonna be one of those obnoxious people that spams the zones, but let's see. This is Lake of Ilomen. That's where I'm headed. I can run across this. I have like this fear of running across this because this is a PvP area and it's like, why? There's nobody here. It's not like I'm just gonna get ganked. Although I would actually laugh if somebody popped up and ganked me in the PvP area. I wonder when the last time that's even happened on EQ. Like those PvP areas are like, especially that one. That's a terrible one. All those statues. The only good ones are like the arenas, like in the one in Butcher Block looks okay, or Kaladin. The one in uh Kinos is alright, but yeah, that one's terrible with all the statues. Let's see, what time is it? 7 a.m. Perfect. All right. I was thinking it was nighttime. Okay, Skyless Raven says, long story short, I wasn't invited to their graduation party either and only seen them in passing. Yeah. As you get older, too, it's kind of tough. Like, friendships fade, and it's hard to keep connections. What am I doing? I need my new level 20 pet. Even though I'm 24, I'm only rocking the level 20 pet. But I'm proud of that pet. Dang it. It was it was a fight to get that pet researched. Let's see what kind of pet I roll on the first try. I got a dark blue, so we're gonna go with it. Where are we headed? We're headed to the Sarnak fort. And we're gonna work on this guy right here, Sarnak Ceremonial Dagger. Friends don't drop you the second you're not wrong. You gotta know your worth. Oh, I'm doing the monster run. He's doing the weird run. XR models, they will occasionally do like a weird run like this. Sometimes you see the guards doing it, sometimes your character does it. It's so weird. I wonder if it has to do with the spell animation, but I've seen Trooper Terror doing that. And Trooper Terror doesn't cast spells. I've decided one day I would like to have enough plat to make a warrior on this game. I think it would be really cool to have a warrior. That is one class I've never played. They're so expensive to gear, and there's so many different like requirements, and if you don't gear them, they're not fun at all. You pretty much have to go in and twink them or just struggle. Because if you're not twinked, even groups are going to be like, we don't really want you. And not just like full banded, decent two-hander. I want to be like fully twinked. I don't wish ill will, but they need to step on Legos while simultaneously stubbing their little toe. What do you think, Skyless? What do you think is the worst toe to stub? It might be the little toe. I feel like stubbing the little toe is the most painful. Yeah, it like hurts more. Like the big toe looks like it's built for a little bit of abuse, but the little toe is not. He's just a little guy. He's not gonna handle it. I broke my little toe one time. I was being an idiot. I was drunk and I kicked a freaking door. And I wasn't even mad. I was like playing around. I shit you not, I was acting like a zombie. Like I was acting like a zombie, and I was outside on like a porch, and there's like a sliding glass door, and I was like, "Ugh," and then I like kicked the door, and then I broke my toe. And the worst part was I had to go to the airport the next day and fly back to Florida, and I had to walk through the airport with a busted toe. It was so bad. I remember like limping around, and when I got to Florida, I went to the ER, and they were like, "Yep, it's broken. All we can do is tape it together. There's nothing we can do." Luckily, it doesn't hurt. Sometimes as you get older, which I was super young then, I was like 23. As you get older, maybe 24, like those injuries last longer. Running across Lake of Illiman is much less scary now. I hope none of these people are at the Sarnak fort. They probably are, though. They're all in their 20s. I'm trying to think. I've seen that Sarnak recruit. I've seen him running along that road. We fought him the other night. I actually watched that stream after the fact just to check my audio and everything. That was a pretty close fight. We don't want to mess with him. Oh wait, that's a battle master. He's fine. I need to click this off. I'm letting my health just like drain. I know what we can do. We can drain the life out of this cat. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's not the right spell. Siphon life. The Shaka poison spell, Shaka poison, hits really hard. Get back here, cat. One has threatened to beat me up if they ever see me again. Oh, oh, okay. We'll drain the life out of this guy. I'll know I found you. Let's see. Vibander's hitting for. Ooh, he's hitting for 22. Nice. I love this new pet. I'm so glad I got him. I wouldn't want to try to do this, the Sarnak recruits with the level 16 pet. I don't think that would be a very good time. It's like this guy, I mean, he's holding his own. He's not even taking that much damage compared to the level 16 pet. He was getting whooped on. Alright, we need to head this way to get to the road. Excuse me. So glad the guy found a reason to hit the gym, but he's going to need more than a big arm. So we'll run up these hills, and then once we hit the road, we're just going to look for Sarnak recruits. I think there's more than one. Let's see. Let's try the old pet track. Yeah. There's at least one up in the zone, but I think they're a fairly common spawn. I don't think they're a rare spawn. And now at level 25, I'm at a point where the game is starting to feel like the Necro is feeling more complete. And it really is making it a lot more fun. That's a Sarnak flunky. Although I learned one thing, if you kill Sarnaks, it's kind of like Burinai, only you can get your rep back, but apparently there's like a whole ring chain with Sarnak rep. I'm obviously not going to do it. From what I saw, it requires some grouping. I don't know if I could solo that. So I'm not super concerned that I killed some Sarnaks But I did think it was interesting, and it does kind of speak to the depth of the game. Like, you show up in these places, and you go, and you're just fighting everything. And then you realize later, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have killed them, because there's a whole quest chain now that I could do if I had not killed them. And you can still do it, you just have to go farm the rep, but it's one of those things where you kill one Sarnak, and it makes it so you have to kill like 72 other mobs just to get, like, for every Sarnak you kill, you drop back like 72 mobs worth of rep. I think the rep grinds on this game are just on another level. And I'm not sure if there's a quest that gives Sarnak reputation that you can easily do, like a bone chip type deal. I doubt there is. Alright, so we can see up in the distance here the Sarnak fort. And that is where we are headed. There we go. Got my magic window back. Over there. Yeah, we did have a good stream. It was really quiet for a little while. And then Neutral Rockets showed up, and I got there's a new follower. He's, yeah, DC Raid Boss. And those dudes like love EQ, and we were talking EQ like total nerds. It was great. I really enjoyed it. Definitely made me feel the MMocracy vibes. It's always nice to hear I had a good stream. Yeah, it's one of those streams where you finish up and you're like, man, that was awesome. Like, really, anytime we get into like the depth of EQ or what makes it special, those are the streams that I enjoy the most. And that's actually, I think it inspired me a little bit, because as I was writing the script for my YouTube video, I had all kinds of ideas on additional like things that I could talk about, because I'm making a video, 3 reasons why you should play classic Everquest, and the target audience for the video is people who maybe thought about EQ but haven't given it a try. And yeah, I get it. It's an old game. It's like it doesn't have the draw that these newer games do. And that's kind of why I focus on the things that make it special. Oh boy, I see a lot of Sarnaks. But I see a lot of Sarnak recruits. This is the Sarnak fort. And people will usually group up there. Now the good news is it looks like I can pull to right here. There's not a lot of room to fear kite though. And I think there's a safe spot. Maybe I can get by this guy. Let's see. Will he aggro? If he aggroes, it's okay. We'll just start fighting him. We're going to go this way. Alright, looks like we made it by him. We got to watch out for Pats. Okay, there's another recruit there. I think, if I remember right, you can... Maybe that was the safe spot. Dragoons are a little bit high level, but the recruits are like... Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Is he coming? Where was he going? Oh, boy. Oh, he ran up, but he ran past. That's a good thing to see. That's the one we got to watch out for. But what we're really looking for is, like, where is it safe to pull to? I want to say maybe back in the day we were pulling to here. Oh, I can't go that way because he's there. You had a cougar bait t-shirt? I know some places in Florida you could have wore that. Alright, it looks... The only thing I'm wondering is... There's like a recruit that paths up and down this road. But I would say this is probably the safest spot to pull to. It's like, oh man, there's not a lot of room. Alright, I don't see anybody coming up the road. This is something I really like about EQ too, is like it's not just like mindlessly go in and just start killing things for the most part. Like you gotta scope your stuff out. You gotta know what you're doing or you're gonna die. I'm just really concerned about fear kiting right here. So it may be one of those things where I just maybe pull and nuke. Because yeah, we got a Pat here. That's another recruit. That's another recruit. That Dragoon, we gotta watch out for this guy. He's a red. But it looks like we can just pull to here and then maybe just like go full blast and just nuke. Go like full nuke mode. So we're gonna get our first one. We're gonna go for it. I'm just watching. Okay, here we go. And we got the snare on him. We're gonna pull him as far back as we can. We're gonna get the dot on him. And we're just gonna go full nuke mode and just hope for the best. Wow, that nuke hits really hard. So rather than fear kite, we're just gonna like, it's less efficient, but holy smokes, look at this. Boom, 4%. Sorry, that was loud. That's hilarious. What did we get? We got a Sarnak recruitment letter. We're gonna wiki that a rune of presence and Sarn. That's like 4 items from one. All right, let's head over to the wiki now. We got some time to med here, and let's check out what the Sarnak recruitment letter is all about. So here we are in the wiki. Sarnak recruitment letter. Drops from Sarnak recruit. We got that. Whoops, I didn't need to click that. Scaled Mystic Greaves. It's a scaled Mystic is a quested set of armor for Ixar shamans. It's I would say like 3 out of 10 on the fashion quest. What kind of stats does it have? So some HP, a little bit of mana, so like 30 HP if you were to get the full set, 30 mana, 7 strength, 10 stamina, which helps with the HP, 8 agility, 9 whiz, some int, some charisma, and then some resistances. I don't know. Wonder how hard it is. This is kind of like the Dreadscale armor. The Shadow Knights have a Dreadscale armor quest similar to this. It'd be kind of neat if I was a solo self-found shaman. Unfortunately, I'm a solo self-found necromancer, and they don't have anything like that. I really wish there was a set of quested armor for the necromancer. My gear set is mainly like regular old silk up until level 30, and then I can get a few pieces out of down there. That went really well, though. And I didn't see the experience bar move, but we're here for the dagger, so experience is kind of a bonus. It's not really an experience thing that I'm doing. I am going to go at full mana because this still seems really dangerous. This isn't the safest of spots to pull to. Be right back. Need to grab phone charger. Cool. No worries. The one thing I'm wondering is something is going to path down this road, but it looks like the road goes down to here, so it may not be an issue. And the other thing is I got to watch out for the respawns. And then obviously that Dragoon Pat, that guy would ruin my day quick. Redcon Dragoon Pat. Let's get some health back from you. There we go. And we'll just go full-blown nuke. Ah, he bashed me. If I have to, I will fear him and feign death. It will be leaving my pet to die, but it's better than dying myself. He does hit really hard. Fortunately, I also hit hard, so there we go. Now the real question, stream, is how many of these am I going to have to kill to get a Sarnak Ceremonial Dagger? My guess is, well, I don't know, we can look it up. What's the drop rate on the Ceremonial Dagger from the recruit? It just says rare, but the pearl necklace is also rare. Or wait, did I get a pearl necklace? No, I didn't get a pearl necklace. I get a pearl earring, which is also rare. So who knows? One thing I'm noticing is I still have the pumpkin up. The pumpkin can go away until next year. And hopefully this time next year I'm still streaming for you guys. Welcome back, Skyless Raven. The Sarnak blood I think sells for 1 to 2 gold, and it's a weight 0.1 item, so I could potentially make a little bit of money on those. And then it looks like I got 10 gold from this one. How many gold did I get from the last one? 4 gold, so I'm getting a little bit of gold. There's another blue recruit. I want to grab him, but I'm going to need to wait on mana. I don't trust going at less than at least 90 mana. I feel like too many things can go wrong in this place. Worst case scenario, you end up so low on mana you can't feign death. The worst is when you have just enough mana to feign death and it fizzles. Which that reminds me, at some point I need to just sit here and spam feign death because that uses the abjuration skill and my abjuration's only 51. Okay, I'm at 90 mana, but I don't want to pull him through here. Sarnak Legionnaire, he's blue. I'm worried about pulling and getting a respawn, because something's going to potentially spawn right here. I guess the longer I deliberate, the worse it's going to be. Ah, there it is. Feign, 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 feign. Whew. uh, he has a dot on him, so if I stand up now, I think it'll social aggro this guy. So I have to wait for the dot to drop in 30 seconds. That's so funny. I knew that was going to happen. Luckily, feign death, what a lifesaver, huh? XR, or not XRs, Necros have such good, like, solo tools. I couldn't have picked a better class. Probably the easiest class for solo self-found, but also very fun. Very fun and very rewarding. Okay, so the engulfing darkness should be wearing off. So he should reset. Okay. So we can get up. We'll come back. We'll med for a couple seconds. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm glad it happened when it did, because if it had happened like a second later, I would have been in trouble. And my pet was out of aggro, so he didn't actually get killed. Okay, we got 90 mana. Just want to make sure nothing's running up or down the stairs. And we'll fight him right here. And we're just like face tank nuking this guy. Because if I fear, he's going to walk right over there where the enemies are pathing at. And we do not want that. And we have him snared, so whenever he gets down into the range like he is right now to where he can run, he's not able to move. 2 words. Words of parasite. Oh, just 1 word. Words of parasitism. What is that for? I feel like I have those already. I have at least 1 set of those. Vampiric Curse. That is my leech spell for level 29. That's nice to have. And I should get a spawn timer up for this. That's going to be a 6-minute 40-second spawn. But I'm going to turn the sound off so it doesn't drive you guys crazy. There's definitely a lot of downtime because of the fact that you have to med so much, but that's okay. What is this guy over here? Can't click him. Sarnak Legionnaire. He's a blue con. That's not bad. I don't think he can drop the dagger that I need, though. He drops some other nice stuff, though. There's the guy we gotta watch out. Oh wait, that's a recruit. I thought that was the dragoon that we gotta watch out for. Okay, we're at 90 mana. I don't want to pull down there. That's gonna bring more than 1 to me. I don't really want to fight the Legionnaire, but I don't see anything else. Let's see, is he headed up? What's my spawn timer at? It's at 4 minutes, so we're pretty safe. We're gonna grab him. Let's see, is he gonna pop up over the hill? There he is. Big nukes. Ooh, I got interrupted. We'll let the pet finish him off there. Good job, pet. Oh, here's an issue. I've got 2 of them stacked up on each other. Oh, there we go. I got them. Sadly, no dagger, just 1 platinum, 3 gold, which is not super sad. That's a nice little split there. Yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good night. Oh, it's been a good night for me. Hopefully your night gets better, Skyless. Looks like, yeah, the experience here is not really the best. I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I kind of figured I would get a little bit more experience. And there's about 2 minutes left on the spawn for the guy in front of me. I'm wondering, is there a spot like over here on this side that I could pull to? But this area here looks kind of messy to pull from, like down there. Whoops. In that valley. There's a lot of pathing mobs. I don't want to run into issues with aggro there. Who's this? Oh, well, I wonder why it keeps clicking that. That's the Dragoon. We want to watch out for him. I feel like if I aggroed him, I would have no choice but to fear kite him. And if I fear kite him, I feel like I'm gonna end up pulling something extra. One of the things I talk about in my YouTube video is the downtime in EQ and how much downtime actually contributes to the community aspect. A lot of people look at downtime and they think, oh, it's just inherently a bad thing. It's just time spent doing nothing. What it actually does is it gives you time to talk to your group, gives you time to get to know people. And some of my favorite memories are just sitting around with a big old group, mindlessly killing things and also just kind of getting to know people. In games like World of Warcraft, where you're constantly on the move, if you're in a group, you're usually following a tank, or if you're the tank, you're usually pulling. You don't get nearly as much time. Oh, there's somebody over here like just killing stuff. It's a high level Necro. Wonder what he was doing. Maybe he was camping the advise. I think the advisor. Oh no! Help! High level Necro. My spawn timer was way off. Let's see. He should reset, and I should be able to get this guy. We just need to pull him before he resets. Yeah, now he's mad. There we go. We should still have the mana to kill him, I hope. I fizzled once there. It's going to be kind of close, actually. But there we go. I'm going to do a safety buff or a debuff of snare on him just in case. No dagger. I wonder how long this is going to take. Truthfully, stream, I'm just glad that I'm here. I'm just glad that I finally made it to the Sarnak fort. I didn't think I would be getting this character even this far. Just looking all the way back to me running around the field of bone, pulling random spiders and XR bandits and stuff, and now looking like where I'm at. That's pretty crazy. Always be glad you are here, exactly. Just grateful that I've been able to take this journey as far as I have. I'm wondering, I don't really remember when I made this character. I made him a long time ago. I think his birthday is March 26, 2022. but I didn't start playing him until I think it was September. It was when did the Smash Mouth singer die? That was one of my first streams. He died September 4th. I can't believe it's already been 2 months. That was one of my first streams with Mr. Best Friend, and I think I was level 8 or 9 then. So I probably actually started leveling him, this Necro, in like August. That's crazy. Time flies. It does not seem like that. You guys really help keep me grounded on this, though. Like, I feel like if I wasn't streaming this, I would have given up a long time ago. But yeah, we're going to med till 90% again, and then we'll pull this recruit. And I want to see something real quick. Sorry, I got quiet because I'm getting AVG pop-ups, which is super annoying. Because I want to... There we go. Sorry, give me 1 second. Type this out. There we go. There was something I needed to do. But now you have my full attention. So, there we go. Oh, you can't hit him from here. Well, I'm glad I didn't hit him because that guy came running by right as I would have hit him. We'll go ahead and grab you. He resisted my snare. Should we give my pet an opportunity to just tank here? I can always give some life to my pet here. There we go. Oh, pet's getting kind of low. Let's tank for him. He should be running. There we go. Now he's running. Oh, he like roared. I don't know if I've ever heard the Sarnak do that. Pet took a beating, but that's okay. Another pearl earring. Yeah, it was kind of interesting watching my last stream that I had on YouTube of me and Kearns. And I do really like the 60 FPS. I'm glad I worked that out. The green screen I think looks good. So it's like, it's all good things. And then very excited for that YouTube video. I think that's going to be a kind of a good recap of like what makes classic EQ so special, and hopefully it brings some new people if it does get a little bit of traction. I know it's EQ, it's not going to be like a crazy high amount of people watch these videos, but if it gets a little bit of traction, maybe bring some new people to the community, that'd be cool too. And I've come to realize that I just really enjoy video editing. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's get our spawn timer ready here so that I don't mess that up again. It's dark now, so I gotta watch out for pats. Oh, I got him. Let's bring him all the way back. Or he's gonna run back when he starts getting mad at me. Excuse me. Like right about now, when I hit him with this massive nuke. That thankfully does not have a cooldown. And the other thing I'm noticing is that it seems to hit for the same amount of damage every single time, which is kind of nice. And then the other nice thing is, ooh, I got some words. Words of dimension. That sounds like mage words. The other thing that's nice is the amount of damage that I'm doing. I'm not sharing experience with my pet. Like there's zero chance my pet is out damaging me. Words of dimension is a mage pet spell. This place is a little bit scary in the dark. I can research now my level 24 Ultra Vision spell. It's a real shame that's a research only spell. And the reason it's a shame is I probably won't have the components or the ability to research it till I'm level 29. Just based on how the drop rates work. And the experience bar is moving for sure. I'm almost up to 20%. That's nice. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not the most efficient experience because I'm not fear kiting. Fear kiting is super efficient. And the reason why it's efficient is while the enemy is feared, you can med. And this is, oh, I didn't start my spawn timer. No. We are doomed to repeat the same mistakes. I'm going to guess that was probably about 3 minutes ago. So I'll get at least a rough spawn timer up. That'll help me make a judgment call at least. Thank goodness I got that nuke. This nuke makes this perfectly doable. Without that nuke, I wouldn't be able to tank this damage. Because they hit pretty hard. Let's see, there's a recruit. Where's this recruit? He's right there. Oh, I can't see. There we go. I like how I still turn on auto attack, like it's gonna make a difference. Old habits. And we get to siphon life on him to restore some of that life. There we go. My girlfriend thinks the skeleton laugh is hilarious. I think it's kind of annoying. I might go in and disable it. Otherwise, I'm going to be listening to it for 50 or 60 levels. No dagger. And I'm up to what, 6, 7 kills? Somebody named Harold is asking for a camp check. He's a level 60 druid. That's interesting. I wonder what he's trying to do. He's probably looking for the Gazugi ring. Everybody wants that goblin Gazugi ring. And I need to rebuff my shield spell. This is a pretty chill spot. And if you know me, you know I like my chill spots. What am I putting there? Shock of poison. No, I'm putting Allure of Death. Poison Bolt is an old dot, so I'm going to move it back here, and I guess I can take some time to rearrange. I have Screaming Terror now. That's like a memory blur. Disease Cloud is an old dot. I don't think I need that up in my active spells. I'm looking at my health here and wondering, does my health still drain? Or, yep, it's still going up. I was thinking maybe the Lich spell was going to finally start draining my health, but it looks like it's going up just ever so slowly while I'm seated. There goes a Legionnaire. Yeah, back in the days of like early EQ, Lake of Ill Omen, the zone I'm in right now, would have been just absolutely full. There's 8 players here right now. In the heyday, there was well over 100 people here, and they would be camped at every spot along the lake. They'd be camped at the windmill. There'd be at least one, maybe 2 groups here in the Sarnak fort, like, are basically maxing out the zone's capacity. And I never really understood why it was such a popular place, but it was a hugely popular place to level from about 16 to 30. And maybe that's why it was popular, because there was just so much like range. You could come here at level 16, leave at like level 32. You could go to Frontier Mountains, which is right next door, and group there till probably close to 40. So that could be the reason. And then the other thing that's weird though is on Project 1999, there's like nobody here. And I'm curious, where are all the players? Okay, the Sarnak recruit just popped. We want him. And I'm gonna remember this time to do my... I'm gonna do my spawn timer. That way next time we'll know exactly when he pops. Boy, he hits hard. This is actually a little bit dangerous. Let me see if I can get a life tap on him. Nope. Oh, I hit a button and my GeForce like UI just came up. No dagger. We'll see how long this takes. Truthfully, this is a good spot all the way to probably 27 or 28. And even potentially further, it will just slow down incrementally as each level takes more experience than the last. And each level that I go higher, the mobs will give less experience. And if you play Classic EQ, one thing that I highly recommend you do is you head on over to the Project 1999 wiki and you look up how the game actually handles experience, because it's super interesting how it does it. They've changed the experience requirements now on green to where your hybrid classes don't require as much experience as they used to. But there was a point in EQ's timeline where like Shadow Knights, Paladins, Rangers, because they were hybrid classes, they decided the way to quote unquote balance them was by making them take more experience to level. So like a level 30 Ranger had like as much experience as like a level 36 Halfling Rogue. And what that ends up causing to happen is nobody wanted to group with the hybrid classes because the way the game divvies out its experience is not based on your actual level. It's based on the amount of experience that you've gained. So somebody who's level 30, but they've gained way more experience than someone who's level 25 or whatever is going to eat more of that experience. It's super interesting. Luckily, they've normalized it, and the hybrid penalty, as they call it, no longer exists. So you can have a paladin or a shadow knight in your group. But I do remember there was a point where people were like, if you were a paladin or a shadow knight, people wouldn't invite you to the group. And if you asked them why, they would be like, because you're going to eat all the experience. You're going to kill the experience for the rest of the party. I'm like, dang, how savage is that? I did not start my spawn timer. I'm terrible. I get too distracted talking to the camera. And so now I'm at full mana, but I need some more health. I need to life tap somebody. Here we go. This guy is going to get life tap. This is a great spot. I'm not having to run all over to find enemies to pull. He's going to bash me. Ooh. He hit me for 60 in one go. We'll see if we can get 2 life taps on him. My goodness. We're just going to go for 3. Very costly on mana, very slow, like soloing, but also it'll be worth it with the words that I'm getting. Hopefully I get some new spells out of this, and then also the Sarnak Ceremonial Dagger would be really nice to get. I'm going to take a look at the Words of Transcendence. This is for 2 spells. Cornucopia, that's a mage spell where you summon a stack of 20 bread. That's great. And then Everfount, which is summoning a stack of 20 water. This is really funny. I'm going to pull this up, the wiki up here. So if you look, to research this spell, you need the words that I just got, but you also need a spell that you can buy at level 1, summon food, and then you put a loaf of bread. So to research the spell, you put a loaf of bread, another spell, and the words in, and you get that spell. And then the Everfount spell is the same thing. You put the words, the spell summon drink, and a water flask in. I never knew about that. That's funny. I've never heard of research components being anything other than runes or words. Or grimoire, Tassarin's grimoire, or whatever those other little enchanter words are. I really want to get the words for the Ultravision spell. Those are, let's see. Ooh, and Intensify Death. Words of the Sentient, Biza, Words of Recluse, and Words of Absorption. And then Shadow Sight requires Words of Discernment and Words of Eventide. That would be super nice to get. Because if I had the Shadow Sight spell, I'd actually be able to see what was going on out here. And I have crossed over 20% experience, so anytime the bar is moving in the right direction, I'm generally happy. And this Sarnak in front of us here should be popping any minute now. It's a little bit scary. Like, they do a lot of damage. There he is. And with it being dark, I can't tell if something's, like, running up on him. Ooh, I got interrupted. Terrible camera angle. I'm just gonna apologize now. I kind of doing what I need to do here to not die. There we go. Let my pet finish him off. Ooh, some more words. Words of radiance. That sounds like a... Oh no, that's a Necro word. Words of radiance sounds like it would be like a mage spell word, but it's not. I don't think I can get the hungry earth words that I need from these guys, though. But I do like that I'm getting a decent amount of, like, change, spare change. Even if it is just 10 plat, I'll take it. Somebody's got to yell spawn timer at me whenever I friggin' kill that thing. Because I always forget. I started it, but I started it late. Probably about 30 seconds late. I can account for that. Rearrange these items in my bag here. And actually, I don't need this recruitment letter. That's for shamans. And a shaman I am not. Sarnak adherent. Is that a rare or just a regular? Looks like he's a regular. It'd be kind of neat if I got the Sarnak Earring of Station here. That's a strength +5. Even though I don't need the strength for the, like, the ability to do more damage with my melee, but just having the extra 5 strength for, like, being able to carry more stuff. It looks like he drops a quest item for the Shaman Skullcap quest. Or Shaman Skull, I think that's an offhand. He's all the way over there. Kind of scared to grab him. The guy that's normally over here is not up, though. We'll grab him. Oh, he casts. That's bad. Pet, get back. Hopefully he doesn't... I need my pet to attack him. There we go. We're just gonna go full... Oh no, don't nuke myself. I'm making all kinds of mistakes here. Okay, good to know. He's a caster. He's healing himself. That's not good. Don't heal yourself. There we go. Whew. That Ixar Skull Helm. Let's look that up. Ixar Skull Helm. He made a helm out of one of our fellow Ixars. That's sick. Shaman Skull Quest. Ixar Skull Helm. That's for the Skull Quest number 5. And you get a Iron Cudgel of the Channeler, which is a Wiz +5. Here we go. Shaman weapon. So not good for solo self-found. Maybe not the best if you have access to other stuff. I got a little bit like scared there because seeing him hang out down here casting, and I'm like, great. What could have happened was if he hung out down here casting and that recruit popped, now I have 2 enemies on me. I go to hit feign death, but if he's mid cast and he hits me after I feign death, then it breaks you out of your feign death. That could have easily led to a death. But now I know. I just won't mess with him. Oh, Dak Dog, World Champs, really? World Series. Let me pull it up. 5 and out. Wow. There we go. Look at those. Oh, it had fireworks. Can I make the fireworks happen again? There they go. Look at that. Congrats, Dak Dog. Congrats, Texas. That's awesome. Glad to have you on stream. Thanks for popping in here to announce it. That's great. Congrats to your team for winning their first ever World Series. First time ever the Texas Rangers are World Series champions. This calls for an applause. I swear I know what I'm doing here. There we go. Yeah. All right, bravo. Okay, let me turn that off. It's like obnoxiously long. Was just logging on and saw you were playing, so I had to stop in. That's awesome. Yeah, no, congrats. Like World Series champions. It's especially like great to see a team that's never won. And at the risk of offending somebody else, I think it's great anytime like the Yankees, the Red Sox, like whoever, I guess the Red Sox are kind of, well, they won a lot after 2004, 2005, but yeah, anytime it's not one of those big teams that always wins, I like to see that. So it's a year of firsts. Hopefully that maybe the Vikings will win the Super Bowl now. Probably not. Yeah, that's great. I'm out here in Lake of Ilomin. I'm camping the Sarnak Ceremonial Dagger, trying to get some more intelligence. It's a little bit scary because I can't fear kite here, so I'm just pulling and nuking. As you can see. Yeah, it's got 5 int on it, so, and I'm getting a lot of words as well. Words of Dominion there. Okay, I'm starting the respawn timer. I got it. I finally figured it out. And I'm looking up the words of Dominion just to see what they are. I need to make like a little spreadsheet. That's a mage pet. Mage pet words. So I don't need those. That's vendor loot. And then you are, what level are you now, Dak Dog? You've got to be like, what, level 55, level 60? Because you're moving quick. 35, yeah. And you got your pet. Have you figured out how to use your pet yet? Like, have you learned, not saying you didn't know what to do with them, but have you learned any like cool tricks? Been busy lately? Me too. It's like a economy of time for me. Like, get up, work, gym, get home, make YouTube stuff, edit video, stream at 7:30. It's super busy. I'm in college. I'm in my very last class. Thankfully, it's actually not that hard. You would think the last class would be hard, but it's not. It's like, yeah, just the greatest thing is every week the assignment is like go find some old assignment you did and like edit it and post it. So I just proofread it and like, all right, looks good, fix this, and then post it. And it takes like an hour or less. I figured I'd be writing like 20-page papers every weekend. But the whole point of the class is like to get you a sort of like a something you can show a potential employer like everything you know. And I'm like, I have an employer, I've been employed for a long time, so I don't need to worry about this as much. It's nice to finish with an easy one. Yeah, I've been doing school for 10 years. I think I started in 2013. 2012 if you count my associates, which was kind of like I like clept a few classes and then did like one class in person and got my associates. Then went back and started my bachelor's, and I was only doing one class a year for a couple years, 1 to 2 classes a year. And then after a couple years of that, I looked at my like progress, and I was over halfway done already. And I was like, wow. So then I just started going like I went hard on my school for a while. Like there was a point where I felt like I did nothing with school. For my master's, it's been like 1 to 2 a year, nothing crazy. So yeah, it is nice to finish with an easy one, but I've only done like 2 classes this year anyway. I'm just glad it's almost done. You know, it's a good milestone. It helps. It'll help when I retire. I'll be able to kind of slide in a little bit higher level than if I just had a bachelor's. All right, we got a Legionnaire here, so we're gonna go ahead and grab him. Uh-oh, I interrupted my spell. Bad camera angle. There we go. Get those nukes on him. This guy hits hard. Oh no, I'm getting interrupted. Oh my gosh. I need to fear him. This is bad. Oh, goodness. This guy hits way harder than I thought. Oh my gosh. Whew. I'm not playing around. Hopefully fear doesn't drop. If fear drops, I'm done. Put a little distance between me and him and hopefully get a life tap on him. Holy smokes. Wow. Let's look at that. I haven't fought one of these yet. So some little like bash for 8, hit for 4, but up here hit for 50. 7, 14, hit for 50, hit for 9, 22 and 34, 39, 42. Dude, that guy was nuts. Okay, I cannot face tank a Sarnak Legionnaire. Like, I am so lucky that I'm alive right now. I'm gonna cancel my mana regen here. Silver amulet and a tattooed Sarnak head. And because we have so much time to med and regen health, we'll go ahead and head back to the wiki just to look at that. Because I'm curious what that's all about. And we have a lot of downtime. Tattooed Sarnak head is for Warrior Pike number 5. That's the very last one you can get on P99. And it's a damage 12, delay 40 with 6 AC. Does it look cool at least? There's no picture. Apparently you could get all the way up to a rank 8 just in Gates of Discord. That's way later in the timeline. 1424, that might have been decent at one point, I don't know. Skyless Raven says, I'm one math class away from an associate's degree and went, I don't need this in life, and dropped out. I guess it just depends on what you want to do. What your goals are. I mean, I was watching a video last night of like professional filmmakers who were like, I never went to film school, so I got really lucky with my math class. The instructor was like, I know you guys are just here to fill a box, so I'm not gonna like penalize you guys for missing little things, like as long as you're getting the concept. And he was super cool. And he was like, yeah, as long as I can tell you're studying, you're doing all your homework's a big part, but even if you're missing things on the homework, as long as you're like getting it, you're gonna pass. Neutral Rockets, my goal is to play EQ all day. Skyless, I sense the disappointment in your voice when you read that. I'm sorry. I'm big on education, man. That's all. My goal should be to play EQ all day. No, I don't know about that. I do love playing EQ though. And neutral, you're like dad mode, right? You're doing the dad thing. So you kind of like play dad. I've done that before. I had to take a week of work off one time and did the like play dad thing where like I would quad kite for 10 minutes, kill a bunch of stuff and then med. And as soon as I started medding, I'm like, okay, now the kids need this. Now the kids need this. And all my kids, they were young. We had a real small house, so they were all like really close by. It wasn't like I had a giant house that was like, there were stairs they could go up or anything like that. And they all played together, so it was great. And they would just kind of like run through the house. And so I always knew where they were. Yeah, I did the dad thing too. It's okay when I get mentally back on my feet. I'm doing a trade skill. Trade skills are awesome, dude. Yeah, highly recommend. Like, I think you're gonna get more mileage out of that because an associate's degree, unfortunately, at this point, really isn't really gonna get you much. I mean, it shows you've done something and you progress, but uh, even a bachelor's degree is kind of like, okay, cool. So everybody's got one of those. Shoot, it even kind of feels like that with a master's. Experience is really what you gotta have. Neutral Rockets just gets late nights. Yeah, I definitely can empathize. Whoops, I'm gonna give you that. You can have that pet. Alright, I'm kind of low on health, but I'm gonna go for it anyway, because we're gonna life tap him. And we'll just drop a few life taps to get our health up. And now we're gonna start nuking. I remember at one point, like, I would live for nap time. I was like, yep, it's nap time. The kids were young enough they could do the nap thing. And I would, like, make a cup of tea, play some EQ, because they were taking a nap. And it was like the house was, like, so quiet. And I was like, thank you. I had a trip to Grippy Socks Express. It was that bad, so I'm still recovering. So I decided trade skills way to go. What trade are you thinking about doing? Is there a specific one, or are you just kind of up in the air, undecided? I think if I was to do one, I would do electrician because I have a background in fixing electronics. And even though electrician and electronics isn't necessarily the same thing, uh, I understand electricity. Yeah, electrician. I mean, every house is going to have electricity. Then again, every house is going to have plumbing. Plumbing's dirtier though, unless you get in just on the installation side. So you're not like a plumber, you're like doing installation. But if you're in a company where you got to do both, it could get kind of messy. I remember one time I used to live in a trailer back in the day, and no shade on anybody that lives in a trailer. I used to too. And there's some really nice trailers out there too, by the way. But ours was not nice, and our sewer drain line came disconnected, and it was so gross. Like I had to take off the siding that goes at the bottom of the trailer. I forget the name of it. I had to take that stuff off, and I had to go buy lye. And it's funny because lye can be used to dissolve bodies. So when you go buy lye, you gotta like sign your name saying like I bought this lye on this date. And I had to like throw this lye up under the trailer to like eat all the waste. And it was so gross. Mostly because my grandfather taught me to wire a house since I was young. Yeah, electrician I think would be the one I would do. Probably have to make sure. The thing I would worry about being an electrician is making sure it gets done right so that you don't like catch a house on fire. That would scare me. Like I would never want to have that on my conscience. Let's see, how much time is left? Oh, I didn't restart my spawn timer. I only got it right once. I'm really failing at the spawn timer here. But we got time to grab this guy. And this is the one. This is the guy that's going to have the dagger. I can feel it. I wonder if you can see it. Kind of like other mobs where you can see when they have uh, weapons on them. Did I just nuke myself? Oh my gosh. I hope that doesn't lead to a very bad situation here in a second. I literally just nuked myself, and now I'm trying to play catch up here. I love that the game lets you nuke yourself. How cool is that? Yeah, I'm really low on mana, and he's unhappy. I've killed myself by nuking myself. If I have to, I will feign. We're gonna kind of play this by ear. I've got time, but what I'm worried about is social aggro here. Yeah, look, these guys are coming down. We're just gonna kind of let it ride. We got time on our side. Okay, he's fighting my pet. That's a good thing. I'm gonna get a leech on him just to get some extra damage and to get some health back. And I'm still high enough in mana that I can feign if I need to. This guy's coming up, so I want him back. The bad thing is there's no snare on him right now. So I'm just kind of letting my pet tank, and then the aim is regen as much mana as possible. And either he's going to start running. There we go. We're going to life tab just to get him down. Oh boy. He's getting close. He's getting close to that guy. Okay, good. Whew. We did it. Sorry if that sounded abnormally loud. It sounded abnormally loud on my end. I apologize for your eardrums if it was. Skyless Raven says, well, my grandfather built and wired his house that even an electrician approved his work, and they were here a few years ago to keep the house up to code. That's good. Yeah, it's surprisingly easy to accidentally nuke yourself. I'm thinking when I went to adjust the camera or something, I targeted myself. That's the only thing I could think of. I'm just glad I didn't die. Dagger. No, no dagger. The loot here is pretty good, though. As you can see, well, you can't really see because it's kind of blocked, but I don't want to drag all this stuff up here in the way. But I am getting some words. I'm getting a little bit of vendor trash. I got some more words over here. And the experience, you can see there, is not terrible. Like, I've gotten 40%, and I've been going for about an hour and a half, so no real complaints here. Usually do it after you buff and pull. Yeah, it's easy to forget like that you have yourself targeted, and the only thing that indicates you're targeting yourself is this blinking nameplate, which is pretty easy to forget about. Neutral Rockets, is third-person camera part of Classic EQ, or is that a quality of life improvement? I can't remember how it was back in the day. I remember third-person being in the game in Velius when I started playing in 2001. Because I remember doing this, hitting the F9 key and seeing like the different angles. But I also remember thinking like, this is gonna sound crazy. I remember thinking like, who would play in third person? Like that was like my mentality because the game, let me bring the music down a little bit. The game pops you in first person. Like your first interaction with the game, you're in first person versus like World of Warcraft where you start out in third person and you don't really think to go first person. It was kind of the opposite in EQ. You start out in first person and you go, why would I play in third person? DC Raid Boss, welcome back. Good to see both you guys. I was just talking you and Neutral Rockets. I was telling some of my other regulars here how we had a great chat about like classic EQ and the game design and all that last night. And if you guys haven't checked out my YouTube yet, I'll be putting a new video on there very soon. I know I keep saying this, but I finished writing the script tonight, and so tomorrow I'm going to start editing, and it's going to touch on all those kind of high points that we talked about last night. And you guys are great because you gave me so much inspiration and so many ideas on like different things that I forget about from having played this game for so long that whenever we talked about it, I was like, oh yeah, that, oh yeah, that. And I put all that into my script. So I've already got like 2 hours worth of footage that I've recorded for background footage. And so now I just need to record the voiceover and then I'll be going live, not live, but publishing that video to YouTube very soon. My goal is by the weekend. And that'll be my first full-length recorded video on YouTube outside of like the just putting my streams on YouTube, which I've been doing since a while ago now. Okay, that recruit went a lot better. But yeah, good to see you too. And as you can see, we're out in Lake of Omen. We're doing Sarnak recruits, trying to get that Sarnak ceremonial dagger. Because any piece of int gear that I can get on my solo self-found is going to help me out a lot. Let's see, so I have 566 mana, and this Skull of Torture is 5 int, 10 mana. So I just need to subtract 10 mana. So I guess it's only 8 mana, but okay, whatever. I'm still excited to get it. As you get higher, the more you get more mana per int. So, and why not? I haven't really gone after any individual pieces of gear, with the exception of that Skull of Torture. Forgot to start my spawn timer, but I caught it a little bit sooner. I don't think I'm going to pull another Legionnaire. That guy got me down to 10%. That was scary. What stinks is when this, so there's a spawn right here, like over in this spot, and whenever that pops a Legionnaire, if I don't kill it, it's going to kill off a potential Sarnak recruit spawn. And then we have Legionnaires pathing. So I think they share spawns because if I remember when I first got here, there was recruits running around pathing. But what I'm wondering is, let's see, what's this guy? That Sarnak Revealer. I don't know if I've seen him. He drops the Sarnak Emblazoned Tabard, which is not a bad chest. I can't wear it, but all but caster classes and druids can wear it. He drops the, here, sorry, let me. He drops the Farsight Crystal for the Beguile plants, some words. So there's the Emblazoned Tabard, and then he drops the Sarnak Earring. I don't think I'm going to go after him. I don't think he's a yellow con and he casts, and I try to avoid caster mobs. Good, a recruit popped here. He's a white con recruit. So I need to watch out for that. Earlier I had a Sarnak adherent pop and I didn't know he was a caster mob, and I hit him and he immediately started casting like dots and nukes on me, and I was like, oh no, I have made a terrible mistake. I don't like fighting them. Alright, so we're almost full mana. We're getting close to full health. We can take him. Famous last words. We can take him. It'll be fine. Okay, I'm not targeting myself. That nuke is so good. Oh my gosh, he's already just beating the hell out of me. 52. Oh my goodness. It's close. Jeez, the amount of damage these guys do. He missed me there. I got so lucky he missed. But I'm like really close to dead. There we go. Ooh. This is rough. Where is my map? I have no backspace. So, believe it or not, you can actually get a map on Project 1999. You need to download a program called NParse. And I'll show you. Let me pull it up here. Quorum. I think you can do. I think you can do the same thing though. So let me play around with OBS. Window capture and parse map. There we go. You can see. I'll just put it there temporarily. So that's the map. There's the whole zone. You can scroll in and out with the scroll wheel. It's like a separate program, so if you click in here, it won't, and then you try to click off, like it's going to kind of mess you up. And then if you bind the loc skill, or loc command, it's not really a skill, it will update the map as you run. You can see it's kind of moving. So I have it bound, my loc bound to the A key. So anytime I hit A, it will update that map. I don't use it all the time, but it is helpful. It can help you like figure out where you're at. And I am 40% towards level 26. Not bad. I forgot you're on Quorum. How is it? Is it as buggy as they say? I heard it was kind of, it needed a little bit of love. And that's okay. Project 1999 needed a lot of love when it came out. This game was really buggy. But the great thing now is like Project 1999 plays like an official server. Like I would pay money for this. Like gladly. I wouldn't even be a question. I'd just be like, yeah, here you go. 'Cause it is really good. I just don't know if I could hop on the quorum train. One, I don't like crowds. I get really annoyed when I go to play these games and there's too many people and there's no instances in classic EQ, so uh maybe once people move on and they're more or less max level. But then you get that whole FOMO thing where you're like, "Oh no, I'm not max level. I got to rush to get to max level." But for some reason when it came out, I was just kind of like, I don't know. I think I was already starting this. I was already doing the Necro solo self-found. I should have made this guy on blue because there's way less people on blue. Blue scares me, guys. Like I think blue is on life support almost at this point. Like there's definitely a good raiding scene still. There's a lot of raiders, but like I was trying to get footage for just people grouping and like there was like two people in Crushbone, two people in High Hold, like one person in Oasis. I'm like, dude, one guy in Oasis? That's bad. I miss when blue I when I first started on blue there was a ton of people in Oasis. Like I want to pull this guy, but I don't have a lot of health. And I'm worried I will not be able to make up the amount of health with the life taps. We'll go for it. Wait. We need this. We need engulfing darkness on him. Get that siphon life on him. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're in there. 80%. Nuke. Hit it very hard. Boom. I love that nuke. This would not be possible without that nuke. I just don't want to fear kite here because I'm worried that with how weird fear is. Like sometimes you fear stuff and it'll walk a little ways in this direction, a little ways in this direction, and it would more or less stay in this area. And I feel like it would do that once, and then the second time I feared something, it would just beeline straight for these guys over here because it can like go really far. And then now I've got these dudes over here running after me. We're gonna get the dagger. I swear. And then really after the dagger, I don't have anything to get gear-wise until I'm like level 31, 32, and then I'll go to down near. And that'll be fun because that's going to be like solo dungeoning, which is, it makes for really good stream content. It's super scary, but that's also, I think, where you get really good at what you do. I'll be charming because I'm going to have to get this Hungry Earth spell. That way I can root and recharm. Unless I want to do Screaming Terror. Screaming Terror might work. I'll have to get good. That's when I got good on my Enchanter. I started doing dungeons solo. Died a lot, but learned a lot. Let's see, what time is it? It's already 9:30. Whoa. It's all good. Hopefully everybody had a good Halloween. I didn't do anything. I just came home and streamed. My poor girlfriend, she wanted trick-or-treaters to come by so bad, and not a single one did. So it was really funny. At the end of the night, I went and found a pair of goggles that I have from working on helicopters, because helicopters kick up a lot of dust. And I found a pair of gloves and a ski mask that I wear when I go climbing mountains. And I went outside and rang the doorbell. I was like, "Hey, I'm a skier. Trick or treat." Just try to cheer her up because she didn't have any trick or treaters come by. Dang, this guy got the Gazugi ring. Grats. Well done. Thanks, Dak Dog. It's sad. Halloween isn't a big thing in Australia. Yeah, that is kind of sad. I didn't know that. I don't. Oh, I just killed that guy. We're fine. Just have to watch out. We're gonna grab this guy. We'll run off the side here so he doesn't bring. Did she let me in and give me the candy? No comment, sir. No comment. Oh my gosh. I'm all distracted. I can't even cast my spells. Skyla says, my dog was the same way last night. She had a costume and everything. Oh, you finally handed her some candy. You dressed the old what is it, golden doodle up. That's an adorable dog, by the way. Like, so adorable. I almost dropped whatever I was doing and spent $2,000 on one. No dagger. Let's see. Mini golden doodle. Yeah, she was a gator. That's cute. Yeah, that dog is like super cute. But yeah, no, our neighborhood's not the neighborhood to trick or treat in. Unfortunately, I never hear gunshots. I will say that, but I feel like if I headed like 2 blocks that way, I would hear gunshots. Like it's not good. I see a lot of people that are taking fentanyl out kind of a couple blocks the other way. Like I'm pretty sure I saw the EMTs like reviving a dude the other day at the bus stop. Like I felt bad for the guy. Like he was in the road for some reason, for starters, and there was like firemen like holding him up and an EMT out there, and he was like, "Brr." And then they were trying to get him over to the bus stop so he would sit down, and like he took one step and was like, "Brr." So I don't know if he was sick, disabled, or but my guess is based off where I'm at and what I see, dude was probably on fentanyl. And there's like a lot of people out here that I call them like the Walking Dead. I'm empathetic. I feel bad for them, but I do call them the Walking Dead because like I'll be driving down the road and there will be somebody out on the side of the road just like this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And they like turn the bus stops into like forts or houses. It's really sad. There was a car wash over here that was shut down, and you know how it was an outdoor type car wash, not like a drive-through one. And you know how they have like these stalls where you can pull in and wash your car. They had like turned that into like housing. It's really sad. The only gunshots I've ever heard are on TV. It's a little insane to me that you would even mention that. My bro, I roll strapped. I don't go anywhere without one. Not because I'm like trying to start trouble, but there's just I live like 50 miles from the Mexican border. There's like cartel here. It's yeah, it's no bueno. No bueno. Yeah, Australia, totally different, right? Totally different. Oh, whoa. Hit the wrong button there. Gunshots used to be common, and in my area now it's wannabes. That's a good thing. It's a little bit scary here. I just mind my own business. I just stay away from people if they look weird. I don't like. One time I pulled up to a gas station right like a block down the road, and there was dudes like snorting meth. I just didn't even look at them. I was just like, "Yep, I don't care what you're doing, man. I'm just here to get my freaking nicotine pouches." DC Raid Boss, how do I turn on logs? You hit enter, you type slash logs. Oh wait, is it slash log? There we go. Yeah, slash log. However, if you want to do it so permanently, you need to go into your EQ folder, find I think it's EQ game or EQ config. There's a config file in there, and it'll say logs equal false. Change the word false to true. And if you want some more help with that, let me know. I'll pull it up so I can show you on stream. They realized every homeowner had bigger guns. And yeah, they didn't want none of that. Yeah, the worst home to like rob would be a home in like rural Missouri or rural Michigan or North Dakota. Like the homeowner is probably packing some serious firepower. You don't want to mess with that. I saw this video once where these two dudes had robbed a home and they had like pistols, or they attempted to rob a home, and the homeowner came out with like a full blown, fully decked out AR-15, and it ended the way you would assume it ended. But the sad thing was, not sad, kind of silly thing was like one of the parents or grandparents of one of the dudes who tried to rob the house was like, it wasn't a fair fight. My boy had a pistol and they had an AR, and I'm like, dude, fair fight. Like they freaking broke into a dude's house in the middle of the night. What are you like? What are you thinking? Naked on the street. They ended up in a bag with a zipper. Unfortunately, well, I mean, sadly for everybody involved because that's so unnecessary. But does Arizona have constitutional carry? It does. It certainly does. Yeah, guns are huge in rural areas. Totally different mindset out there. I grew up in South Dakota, And yeah, we were like, I was like 8 years old. We were out shooting 22s. We were safe, you know. And that's the thing. That's the sad thing is like a lot of people they don't get taught um, gun safety. They don't get taught like, oh, it's not a toy. Don't ever leave it out. It needs to be locked up when you're not using it or whatever, you know, safety precautions. And then it causes accidents. But yeah, Texas as well. I usually carry when I have my kids with me. Yeah, I need to go get the actual license so that when I go to Nevada to visit my kids, that I can carry. 70-something grandfather keeps a shotgun. Neutral rockets just here like, this is crazy. Now we just need Skiff 64. He's from the UK. I think guns are very controlled in the UK as well. Totally different, totally different lifestyles. Let's see. What is this guy? This is Legionnaire. So we're about 50% to 26 and still no dagger. I'm wondering if this is going to be a multiple night, multiple level camp to get this dagger. That Dragoon ran like all the way up that hill. That's kind of scary. We used to be good here in Washington. We're turning to California. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want to get too we're fine, but I don't want to get too political. Because I don't want to isolate or alienate anybody for their own views. That's for my other YouTube channel, my other Twitch channel. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have another one. I just try to keep stay as neutral as I can. That way, people feel they feel good about being here. But yeah, Washington seems like it's very beautiful. But when I looked at houses out there, I was shocked at how much they were. And I was looking in what's the name of the town? Spokane, because there was a point where I was actually supposed to go to Spokane and be at the military base there. And I was like, dude, I can't afford to live here. Like straight up with the amount of kids that we had and the size of house that we needed. I was like, this ain't gonna work. And unfortunately, the military like they pay so much for housing, but it did not match how much the housing market was there. And then luckily, one of my kids got like medically disqualified from going there, and we were able to go to Las Vegas, which wasn't a whole lot better, but it was better. Median house in Sydney is over $1 million. Goodness, that's the average. That is crazy. Yeah, it's getting crazy. Sometimes I wonder if like there's some sort of error in the coding for like Zillow and stuff that's like causing this or not even an error, but like are they just like intentionally inflating it? Because when I bought a house in 2017, I got like a 2,100 square foot house in Georgia for like 185, and it had a big yard. Oh no, he bashed me. No bash. Like the whole mortgage, everything, taxes out the door was like 200 for a 2,100 square foot house. Two story, big yard, beautiful home. Loved it. Loved the scenery. You know, beautiful vegetation, shrubbery around it. Used to go out and mow it, trim the hedges. I used to love doing that on Saturdays. Go out, trim the hedges, mow, make it look nice, edge it up. Very rewarding, very beautiful house. And Yeah, now it's like 270, so it actually hasn't gone up that much. Tack Dog, nowadays you can't afford a home anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, even in like the small places. It's like, what's going on? Property investment is huge here. Wouldn't be surprised if all our politicians are in on it. Exactly. Like what's causing it? And the system is skewed. BlackRock and others are buying homes, just want everyone to rent. Yeah. Loads of tax breaks for property. Skyless Raven is crazy because my grandfather built his house for under 50K and people are trying to buy it for over 200. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. And I don't know if it's like building materials went up, maybe yeah, tax breaks. I mean, there was a house next to me in Vegas. This was the weirdest thing. This house sat empty for like 2.5 years. And when I like researched who owned it, because I did a little bit of Googling, and it was like some Russian guy. And I was like, dude, there's like got to be a body in the freezer in there or something. No, they ended up selling it. I don't know. The house just sat empty for 2.5 years, no renters, and it could have rented for like 1,800, 1,900 a month. And then eventually they just sold it. And I'm like, and then when I asked a realtor about it, they're like, yeah, it was probably like an investor, and it was just another tax break for them, and they didn't need the rental income that bad, so they just hung on to it. I'm like, that must be nice. Like, yeah, 1,800 bucks a month. I don't need it. It's not that big of a deal. No, sir, not me. I'd be like, we're getting renters in here now. I need this rental income. I rented mine out for 3 years, and I got super lucky because mine was rented by a UK Army officer who was in the States on a 3-year tour. And because he was military, the UK paid all his rent. And as long as we could prove that his rent was this much, the UK paid all of it. And what that was good for was my rental property manager was able to program the rent to increase like the maximum amount that Georgia state law let it increase, which in retrospect is kind of bad for the other renters around the neighborhood because that probably meant their rents went up. But it didn't cost that army guy any more money because it was coming out of the queen's pocket and not his. Look at that, 50% to level 26 and still no dagger. Yeah, I will say, for something like that, I am okay with discussing like stuff like that, for housing prices, things like that. Uh, just don't want to get too on the fringe. I don't want to get on a watch list. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining me. It's been lively in here tonight. That's great. I appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate you choosing to spend your night here with me on the MMocracy as we continue the solo self-found journey. And we'll see just how far this goes. I'm kind of debating, do I get to 50, call it? Do I get to 60? It's a long way to 60. I'm probably not even a fifth of the way there. I don't know, I say that, but like when I leveled my enchanter, for some reason levels like 35 to 45 just flew by. But I've never done 50 plus, and those are like, from what I understand, those are the hard, like long, crazy grind levels. My enchanter's sitting at 48, I think, and that's the highest I've ever gotten on EQ, classic EQ. I played retail for a little bit, and I got to like level, I don't know, like 65. But it was funny because as soon as I hit that level where I was like overpowered for the old stuff, I quit leveling entirely and I just went back and like went to places that I couldn't go to when I was a kid, kind of like what Neutral Rockets or maybe it was DC Raid Boss was talking about last night, how they just want to see the areas they couldn't see when they were younger. So that's like all I did. I went to like Sebelis and Chardock and those places that back in the day I was too noobish to check out. Let's see, if I pull right now, are there two Pats down there? There are two Pats down there. I guarantee you if I try to pull him, something's going to pop right here. That's a Lego. I don't want to pull the Lego. Nothing has popped here yet. And now those recruits are down there. We'll just wait for safety's sake. Because I definitely want to get this guy, and then I can restart the spawn timer. The adherent is up wandering around here. We definitely don't want to accidentally get him either. For caster mobs, like, I hate fighting shamans for some reason. I don't know if I've fought like a wizard mob before, but I imagine they just like nuke the living crap out of you too, so I probably don't want to fight one of those either. Let's see, we can kill off the lich spell so I get a little bit more health. Even though I just cast it. Go away, Legionnaire. Let's see. Oh no, an adherent popped right there. I guess we are fighting him because let's see, what is he? He's a blue con. Alright, we're gonna go for it. We need to get the... Oh. I want to duck behind cover as soon as I hit him. And then we're gonna just nuke the crap out of him. Oh no, did I interrupt? I think I interrupted myself. Where's my pet? There's my pet. He interrupted me. Ooh, this is not going well. There we go. He's trying to heal himself. Ooh, his heals are good. Okay. Yeah, his heals are actually... Am I like... What's going on? I have no mana. Oh, this is bad. I'm rooted and I have no mana. Oh. And I have no... Ah! Dang. I killed myself. No! Yeah. This is a long run back, too. That is rough. I have a hard time, so it's starting to get kind of late, but I have a hard time leaving my body somewhere. So here's what we're gonna do. I don't know why I'm always worried like I'm gonna leave my body and then I'm like tomorrow I'm gonna come to work and they're gonna be like, you need to deploy right now to this country and you just need to go home and get your bags. And I'll be like, no, my body. Which I'm not gonna say, right, to the military. What's my body count? Probably maybe 10. I'd be like logging in on Wi-Fi like at the terminal or whatever. Like, do I use anything for MIDI sound changes for P99? I use or I just edit the there's a text file that you can edit in the folder for sound, and I change it so that I get rid of all the annoying sounds that I don't like. But I don't have any actual oh, the reason why you're wondering, I use voice mod for sound effects. just to try to add a little bit of flavor to the stream. But it's all manual. Like I have to go into voice mod and hit the button. It would be kind of cool actually, now that you mention it. I could probably, dang, you just gave me an idea. I don't have a lot of like disposable time. Dang, I lost a lot of experience there. I was at 50%. I'm at like 40 now. Some of the music sounded a little off. Oh, in your own game. What causes that? I've heard of that. There's a issue. It might be your CPU affinity. There is an issue where if you don't have your CPU speed set right or the affinity set right or something where like it will cause all the music to sound super warped. Okay, I gotta take like a quick 3-minute break here because I've been going at it pretty hard. So I'll be right back and then we'll run out and get our corpse. All right. I am back. Where is the log file directory? So, EQ, you go to the EQ directory and then there's a folder called logs. So it just depends on where you saved, where you saved EQ. Let's see, do I want to save these roots? I can save the roots just in case I need food while I'm running. Oh, this is a long way back. So what did we learn? We learned not to fight the adherents. They're too nasty. That the roots pretty much finish me off. Or if I fight the adherents, I need to be less. I can't just pull them and nuke them. I have to fear them. So what should have happened was I should have pulled him and feared him. Or feigned earlier when I realized what was going on. Early detection is key. So yeah, caster mobs, they're nasty. Especially shamans, as we saw, they just have so many tools. And honestly, he healed himself, I think, twice. So if he hadn't healed himself, I probably would have got him down. All right, let's see. We'll get some spells up. Feign death. And fear. Fear is always on the bar. What's this is normally leech. So now we begin the corpse run. Maps. I'll have my map up for this. It's helpful to have the map, especially in the dark. Ideally, at some point, I end up with the Ultravision spell. It's called Shadow Sight, but I need, I think, 62 research skill, and I need the words for it still as well. And I'm not super worried that I died because really we're out there not necessarily for experience, but for the Sarnak dagger. But it does stink to lose a little bit of experience. That was about 10%. And I can imagine that death penalty is only going to get to be more as time goes on. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to actually run all the way to the wall to try to maximize my chances of not running into something. And it is 10 p.m. in game, so that means that for a majority of this corpse run, if not the entire thing, it will be dark. So you're probably going to hear me furiously mashing the tab button as I try to see what's around and potentially avoid any aggro mobs. We'll go ahead and do this. I can invis myself, or I can invis versus undead. For right now, I'm going to go with the invis, but when I get closer to the Sarnak fort, I may IVU for a little bit. And the reason for that is there's a lot of skeletons out there. And then once I get back to the Sarnak fort, then I'll invis down the road because there's at least one pat on that road that I need to watch out for. And DC Raid Boss, did you find your logs directory? Because yeah, I forgot you have to set up nparse to actually know where the log is. But it's a really cool program. Once you get it set up, not only do you get your spell window, which tells you like how long you have left on buffs or any spells that you cast at least. You can also set up audio triggers. Didn't find it, so mine is like in program files. So like your hard drive, C:\program files, and it's in the x86 because it's an old program. At least that's where mine is, and then it's Sony, Everquest, and then logs. I feel myself starting to appear. That is the great thing about Invis, is even though it says it should last 20 minutes, sometimes you get like a bad Invis and it will not last 20 minutes, and you have to really watch that. This is right here is a good thing to put in your audio, because if you make an audio trigger for that, if you miss it while you're fighting or running or whatever, it'll tell you like through an audio cue that you're about to appear. Skyless Raven, so I'm not a smart person. Why do you say that? Forgot to heat. I do that all the time, man. I'll like forget or I'll intentionally just be like, eating takes work. There's always that neutral rockets. That's like dad mode engaged right there. There's always time for a pantry run. Yeah, having kids around is like an automatic like plus 10 pounds easily because like kids don't finish the food, you're like, I guess I gotta finish this. Or like some of the food that you buy when you have kids is not food you would buy when you don't have kids. Only 10 pounds. Okay, so I'm seeing skeletons, so we're gonna swap to IVU. Although I'm wondering, like, is it better to just be invis because I can at least somewhat see the skeletons? And I can't see, like, if there was a goblin whatever out here, goblin warrior, whatever the heck, warlord, whatever the red cons are, I probably wouldn't be able to see him. Cannot wait to get that shadow sight spell. Only 10 pounds, I wish. Yeah, believe it or not, I used to be like 50 pounds heavier. Sarnak youth. We'll just go around him. We're like out in the middle. This is kind of dangerous. Program x86, and then mine is in Sony. So /Sony/Everquest/logs. Show Fox Quan. Thanks for stopping in. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. I don't know if I would call it an old friend. It's more like a constant companion in this. But I get what you're saying. Solid Simon and Garfunkel reference. Or whatever that band is that did the remake. I wouldn't necessarily call it a cover. There was a remake of Sound of Silence done by like a metal band or a heavy, more like a heavy rock band. So I'm mashing tab to make sure there's no like goblins around. I'm actually looking at my OBS and cheating a little bit because OBS for some reason is a little bit brighter than what's on my screen. Am I into metal? I would say at this point, yes. So Skyless Raven was one of my first viewers, if not my first, since I started streaming again. And he got me onto a bunch of metal bands. So we do rock some metal in the stream. And he loves to talk about different metal bands. I'm not as well versed in it. Most of my music knowledge is on the more like classic rock and things like that. We do a lot of 90s in here as well. Dak Dog loves the 90s, like alternative. Those are something we do in here as well. Like, think like Foo Fighters, grunge bands, yeah, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. And personally, I find that music fits really well with EQ because it came out around the same time. And if I was to play like Temple of the Dog and start playing EQ, like I get hit with like a nostalgia bomb. So a lot of times I actually like to start my stream out when my like starting soon screen is on. I'll put on Temple of the Dog. Okay, we're gonna swap from IBU back to regular Invis. Yes, sir. Yeah, we love the. One thing I don't do is I don't do Nirvana. I was a huge Nirvana fan when I was like 14, and I just never recovered. Like, I got it out of my system, and it never came back. And it's not that I don't like, it's not that I think they're bad or whatever. Just for some reason, just can't listen to it. Like, I'll never tell somebody like, "Oh, you like Nirvana? They're terrible." Like, that's not it. It's just I think I got tired of it. Okay, we are almost back. That brightness there kind of scared me. I wonder what's causing that light. Sometimes there's just weird spots in the game that just have lighting like that. I don't think there's anything there unless there's a player there that's invis that I just can't see. So no more Sarnak adherence. Invis player, maybe where someone logged out. Yeah, it could be. Sometimes I'll be out and about, and there'll just be like a glowing patch of ground running by me, and I'm like, ah, that must be an invis player. And for some reason, I thought the lighting changes that are on green weren't on blue. I thought they never applied the lighting to blue, but they did. So when I went back to blue, I logged on my human mage, and it was like unplayable. Like humans cannot see anything. Okay, we are here. Oh, there's like another player out here now, just like murdering everything. Tyrax, I've seen him before. Well, we made it to our body. We did it. Success. And now we can see because I got my lantern. So that's good news at least. There we go. I got my body, got everything off a bit. Kind of wondering what this guy's intentions are. He said yo, I say hail. I'm old school. I love that the H key is like bound to hail in this game. Like how old school is that? That there's a like a literal key. That's a bad pet. There's a literal key just bind to saying the word hail because you do it so much. And it's one of those things where I played this game so long that I didn't even realize it. And I was watching a video about EQ, and the guy who made the video was like, "Yeah, there's not even a quest like a dialogue box. There's no dialogue box." And I was like, "Oh yeah, there isn't." Like, it's just kind of second nature to me that I didn't even realize. Like, oh, there's no dialogue box. I'm gonna tell him I'm killing recruits. Eh, he says I'm low. I'm like, that's why EQ is good. Yeah, for sure. Neutral rockets. I love the old school feel. It's great. And that's what I'm going to talk about in my YouTube video like a lot. Like I started typing and next thing I knew I had like 3 pages and just talking about how much the basically the point I'm making is like sure you can go play newer MMOs, you can play WoW, you can play all these different games that have all this quality of life, but like there are things that EQ does that no game after it did. And it's at least worthy of exploring to see if you would enjoy that and appreciate that because you will literally never see it in another MMO like the Trinity of tank, DPS, and healer. Like this game doesn't have that trinity, and after EQ, every game had that trinity to the point where like newer games are marketing that they don't have the trinity, like right, like Pantheon. Like that's one of their main marketing points is no, there's no trinity. We have well, there is a trinity, but we have support classes. Let's see. Tyrax is giving me some pointers. He's saying the casters are rough, revealers and revenants are the toughest, hybrid necros, lots of dots, and they're the highest level. Telling him that I'm solo self-found, and I'm just here for the dagger. Wonder why he's out here. Maybe he's wanting that earring, the Sarnak earring of station. The pentality, yeah. It's so. One of the other points I make is just because your character's in the Trinity, like the cleric, for example. Um, I've been in groups where the tank was a cleric, and it worked because we were in Mistmore, which is an undead place. But like you can kind of go outside that, even on your own character, if you gear him right and you like use the spells a different way. And you definitely don't get that in any newer MMOs that I know of. Like the level of customization. Maybe we'll start seeing it again now that MMOs have like shrunk and people are maybe less afraid to try something new. But there was a good what 16 18 years where every MMO that came out was just like, yep, tank, DPS, healer, cookie cutter, don't deviate from the formula. And that's part of the reason why I really like EQ is it likes it didn't deviate from the formula. It set the formula, and then everything kind of deviated from that and made it a lot simpler. So this guy's telling me the dagger is a rare drop. It's like, yep. Neutral Rocket says, I feel like EQ has a lot of depth or a bit of knowledge can change how you play it. That's awesome, man, because I talk about that too, how there's like the progression of your character, and then there's like a lot that you learn about your character that doesn't happen. It's not quantified by experience points. It's quantified by like you going out and dying to this mob and going, okay, I'm not messing with that mob, or I need to do that differently. It's almost like a sort of like a horizontal progression. So the only thing up is the adherent right now. Showfox Quan, just 3 hours ago, we had a rogue tank just because he was highest level and uber geared. Yep. Rogue, cleric, mage, enchanter, shaman, druid. That sounds like a sweet group. Because you got the chanter for the clarity and charm pet DPS. Alright, we got a recruit at CE and Mistmore. Uh-oh. I did not memorize. I did not memorize Poison Bolt. Or Shock of Poison. Luckily, Larry, my new pet, was able to get him off me. Boy, that pulls some aggro. Dang, Larry pulled him back. Good job, Larry. One more shock. Oh, got interrupted. Let's see, I'm kind of talking to this guy. He's like, yeah, that's a cheap dagger for how rare it is. And I was like, yeah, it's not the best, but because I'm solo self-found Kunark only, it's kind of like my only choice for int on a weapon right now. Chanter with C. Uh-oh. He's got the adherent. I'm going to let him just do his thing. Chanter with C and a gypsy for the backstab. Yeah, backstab pets are awesome. Rogue was pulling and tanking, which is like double duty. Their wrists were hurting by the end of the night. Arrows and pet damage. That's right, because you play a mage. And then the shaman debuffs, does some buffs too. Cleric and druid heal. And then you got like the roots on both the, which you really don't need the roots because you have a chanter to mez. But root can help in a pinch if like somebody's getting beat on. Yeah, that's a great group. And then Earth Pet, yep. And that's something that you see more in EQ than other games too, is like that group comp being such a factor in how the group plays and how they interact, that you don't really see in like modern MMOs. It's like I got 3 DPS, check. Like, does it really matter what DPS you have? No. Like they're either doing damage standing next to the enemy or they're doing damage standing away from the enemy, but they're really not, like, there's no difference between them. Yeah, it's definitely I'm gonna pedal my stream. There we go. Pedaling my stream wherever I can. I'm not gonna spam zones and annoy the crap out of people, but people that I interact with, I'll be like, hey, check me out. Warrior tank is the DPS. You gotta out DPS the DPS to hold aggro. Yeah, I was talking about earlier really wanting to play a warrior on P99, but I just don't have the plat. I just don't have the plat to pull that off. DC Raid Boss, you found the files. A Sarnak Gem Oracle. I read one of those classes is hell to play until level 60. Yeah, I think there's a very high gear requirement for them to be good. Oh, he's not a rare. For some reason, I thought he was a rare. He drops something called a Gem of Yet to Come, which is for the Necromancer's 7th rank. Huh. As much as I want to like go for it just because I need the item from him, I don't need a second death in a row. And I don't know what he does. His name has Oracle in it, so I'm gonna assume that he's gonna do some pretty nasty like casting. So unfortunately, I'll have to come back to try to get him when I'm doing my 7th rank quest. And even though there are, let's see, there's a recruit over here, but I'm going to assume, yep, there's 2 recruits there. I don't want to fight 2 at a time. And I don't want to pull past him because he'll social, and there's an adherent down there. Warrior doesn't get any aggro utility until after 50. There's a recruit up here. Is the path clear? Aside from taunt. Yeah, and if you don't have a good proccing weapon, like you can play a somewhat undergeared paladin, undergeared shadow knight because you have flash of light, you have disease cloud. So where you can pull aggro, you get that sweet snap aggro and it works better than taunt. But you can't tank with an undergeared warrior. Like you'll never out DPS the other DPS. And yeah, I don't think soloing is a lot of fun on a warrior either. Because like Showfox Quan said, you're just bandaging. Ooh, he resisted. That's bad. Yeah, you would. You'd be sitting a lot, and every fight with a mob is like a duel to the death. Like you don't have any ability to be like, okay, this is going poorly. I can do X, Y, and Z to get out of it. You're just like at the mercy of RNG and hoping that you're gonna be able to kill this thing. Solo self-found warrior is the true stamina hard mode. Yeah, and there's actually a guy who did it. Um, I don't know if I think he did stream it. And funny enough, he actually did a lot of bow kiting. And if you look it up, there's a Google Doc where he documented all of his progress. But yeah, he went and found a bow from one of the centaurs or something in southern Karana, and then pretty much just used a bow to like kill stuff for like 20 levels. That would be a quite the feat to do that. So hats off to him for pulling that off. I'm doing solo self-found, but it's more like solo self-found light. Bow kite is viable, especially once you build up the money to make some good long-range stuff. Yeah, I actually know so little about ranged weapons in this game. Do the arrows have like different distances they can go? Solo self-found with internet friends. Yeah, I say it time and time again. I would never be able to do this without streaming it because you guys just keep me company, and it would be pretty kind of boring to do this alone. So I do appreciate y'all being here. You guys are awesome. Let's see, I'm at 60 mana, so I'm gonna wait. Terry Styles, thanks for joining the Cast Nation. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you. Appreciate the follow. Thanks for taking an interest in what we're doing here. It's been a lot of fun so far. Oh, these are some neat emotes. Level upper. Oh, are those like a level up Larry? He does good stuff. He's got good content. He actually inspired me. Like when I first started streaming, I was like, dude, this guy knows what he's doing. I feel like I like that he's doing EQ stuff because I love EQ, but like he could move on to something else and probably like he could blow up. That dude he's a great streamer. If you guys haven't watched him, check him out. 90 mana, let's go. And he does some YouTube stuff as well. He has a really great EQ or sorry, Kunark lore video. I want to make some Kunark lore shorts. That way it's just like super quick and punchy. Like this is what's going on in Kunark in 60 seconds. If you can cram it all in 60 seconds, it's quite a lot. 2 bashes in a row. That's not good. There we go. Now he's running. Showfox Quan, you can make hooked arrows that are really nice damage-wise, but you're looking at like 25 or 50 range, less or half of shuriken range. But you can make arrows that fly at 100. And is arrow making, is that fletching, is that something that every character can do, or is it kind of like uh, poison making where only rogues can do it, or alchemy where only shamans can do it? Because that's the other consideration. Fletching anyone can do, but not everyone can use the bow. So I imagine some bows are probably locked behind the ranger only. Like it makes sense to have only the... Dang, another adherent popped over there. That's bad. That's okay. I imagine that if I was designing the game, I would want the ranger to have the best range weapon. Otherwise, there's like... Plus, like, what all do rangers really get, right? They're kind of like the joke class. And I think they actually get good, and maybe one of you guys that knows EQ better than me can enlighten me, but I think Rangers actually get good later on, like in Velius, whenever they actually get all that sweet gear, but like they're not good for most of the game, if I understand it correctly. Let's see, it's not Halloween, I just realized. We can change that back. Change that back to Kinos. There we go. Is that lantern secondary any special? No, neutral rockets, it's just a lantern. Funny enough though, is I need it. It's probably my best piece of gear. Like without it I am nothing. Without me, my lantern is nothing. That's the lantern creed. DC raid boss, why does it say I'm in West Freeport? I don't know. Are you in West Freeport? Or are you it could be if you're in Freeport, maybe they did the Freeport revamp happened at some point. What's this? This is a recruit. We want him. At one point, uh-oh, he resisted. At one point, they did a Freeport revamp, and they changed it. Oh, you're in GFA. Yeah, I don't know. That might be... you're on Quorum, right? Like, I think Quorum's kind of struggling with some things right now, so that might be one of them. I've heard some people say, like, I don't care, I'm sticking with it, and then other people are like, this is a little bit messed up, I'll give it some time. I heard the cameras, for some reason, that there's an issue with the camera. Oof, that took every bit of my mana. This is kind of a tough camp for this level. Got 1 platinum, 1 gold, and 4 silver from him though. And I've made 25 platinum out here. Camera's crazy, or cray. What's making the camera so crazy? Somebody told me it was like something to do with there was like first person doesn't work or third person doesn't work. I don't know. I feel like camera, that's pretty basic. I, I don't want to throw shade. I don't want to seem like I'm uh downing on them, but camera functionality is very basic. So I'm kind of wondering why they would release the server unless they're worried about like running up to a TLP timeline, but TLPs don't usually come out till May. Like April or May, they usually align with the anniversary, which is what I think DC Raid Boss was saying he's looking at doing, is playing on TLP when they come out. So maybe they were worried about how they would align with the TLP, so they were like, we got to get this out now. Neutral rockets, I noticed another interesting thing the other day is traveling between Timorous and OT, the vertical loc is off between the zones by a few hundred. That is weird. Yeah, it took me a minute to kind of parse that because I didn't realize you were talking vertical loc. Is it, oh, you get a message about taking fall damage. So like the game is like thinking that you're falling whenever you, and thinking that you're really high up when you're not. That is weird. Wonder if that's something where they could just take the whole zone and just, just bring it down. Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. I think my EQ path is do the solo self found and then potentially depending on what the TLP whatever they rule set they go with will drive whether or not I go over to a TLP at some point. Um there are some things about TLPs I don't like. The chrono economy is not my favorite. Like the microtransactions, like it's kind of cool. I remember one night I like bought like a group experience potion and was like, "Hey everybody, group experience," and everybody was like, "Yay!" But uh, overall, like that's felt kind of gross. like like I spent like $10 on this. It was cool in the moment, but then afterwards I'm like, oh, like not that I regretted the purchase, but it just made me think like, do I really want to play on a server where you can buy experience? But if they do the right rule set, I may still be like inclined to play the TLP, knowing that there are those shortcomings like the experience potions and the chrono. Like you can get items on TLP launch and sell them for like 6 months worth of sub fees. Like I got the flowing black silk sash the first month or so that Agnar was out, and it was worth like 6 chrono or something crazy, maybe 3 chrono. I don't know. It was definitely a few months worth of subs. Here, this is a new one. Words of Mist Breath. Why don't we head over to the wiki and research that while we're medding? Words of Mist Breath. I've never heard of these words. And it is for researching Breath of the Dead, which is the water breathing spell. And as you can see here, it's sold in Grob, Ogok, and Payneel. But I can't actually buy it. I can't really think of a point where I'm really gonna need water breathing, but that's cool. So I'll definitely research that. Show Fox Quan, so technically speaking, bow damage won't outdo going into melee when you're geared, but there's a few good RNG only bows out there. Oh, Ranger. Ranger only. When you're playing a Ranger, do you mainly use your bow or do you mainly melee? Because I feel like when I've played with Rangers, they mainly meleeed. That's a tongue twister. But I don't know a whole lot about Rangers. Or maybe it depends on what gear you have. I feel like every time I play with a ranger, they end up pulling. Ooh, there's that red dragon. We gotta watch out for him. But I don't know if I would want to melee, or not melee, pull on a ranger because you have no feign death. So even though it makes sense, like thematically, like, oh, the ranger pulls because he has a bow. Neutral Rockets, gotta go. Catch you later. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, man. I'm actually, I'm about done too. In fact, this is a perfect time. So, real quick, we'll bring it over here. We'll go ahead and bring the music down. All right, so, one, had a great stream tonight. Very lively. Thank you guys for showing up. Everybody that showed up. Love having you here. Love chatting about EQ, chatting about MMO design. That's what we do here on the MMocracy, right? I want to say just real quick, I'm super humble. I'm super grateful that you guys show up. You got 70,000 streams you can choose from, and you guys choose to come here and spend your time with me. So, really appreciate that. If you haven't followed, if there's anybody in here that hasn't followed, consider dropping me a follow so you can continue to track my progress on the solo self-found Necromancer, as well as updates to any other games that I might be playing later on. But overall, just want to say thanks to everybody for coming out. All the chat tonight was so lively. I'm so grateful that you guys came out and we had a great time playing EQ together. So yeah, thanks a whole bunch. I'm gonna log off now. Have a great night.